And with a little bit of news out of Calgary, we're going to turn things over to EJ and Tyson.
Yeah, thanks, Jackie. And there is news out of Calgary. You see the tweet from the Flames. The Flames have relieved Glen, Dave Cameron, and Paul Gerard of their coaching duties. Flames missed the playoffs this year and really struggled down the stretch mightily. I know they had a lot of injuries down the stretch, but boy, they kind of fell off the map in the last 15 games or so. Not surprised? Your thoughts?
Not surprised at all. I mean, this is a team in the Calgary Flames. You look at the roster, you look at the players that they have, and they shouldn't have been this bad down the stretch. They're making a push for the playoffs. Obviously, Mike Smith, a big part of it. But I didn't like how their team played tactically in their structure, and it showed. Mike Smith, I think, really, kind of covered up a lot of the issues that this team had before his injury when they were in the 8th spot fighting for the playoffs, and all of a sudden he gets hurt and the team implodes, and then really kind of gave up down the stretch, and that, to me, is all about coaching.
Yeah, and, see, 28th on the power play this year. You'd think they would be better when you think of Johnny Gaudreau and Sean Monahan and the group of defensemen they have back there with T.J. Brody and Dougie Hamilton, just to name two. And Mike Smith was playing well in goal. You would think this was a team that would compete for the top spots in the Pacific Division. It just didn't happen.
Well, you're right. You look at the personnel that they have. They got the guys to do it. They just have to figure out how to motivate these guys, how to get them going in the right direction. And you're right. Special teams, EJ, is the most important part of the game of hockey, just because
well, it's the thing you can fix, right? If you're a coach, the thing you can work on and develop and try to fix, right?
Right. And you look at the playoffs even right now, how the games are won and lost. It's usually the special teams department.
What do you think now when you think of, Glen and you see the numbers there, the next coach for the Calgary Flames? What kind of guy do you think they need? Do you think they need someone who's more of an experienced guy, a disciplinarian? I know Glen from time to time. This was an issue for me. It's like he got mad at certain things, and I think he was trying, like he threw the stick. And I think you as a former player, players know. They always know, and they see through some of that stuff. And I don't think it does. You can go to that well once, maybe, but you can't keep going to it.
Come in and you kick the Gatorade bottle and you break your toe, and players kind of chuckle at that nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't think that works anymore, even though it worked after he did the stick throwing incident. I didn't love it, but for me, I've been around this guy for a long, long time. I think, and the relationship with Brad Treliving, the GM there, I think Dave Tippett would be a real good fit for that team. He brings that defensive element, which I think the Calgary Flames are in desperate need of. He also was very familiar with Mike Smith and a lot of other players in that.
Yeah, you know what? I would say this. I'll be surprised if it's not Dave Tippett. I think you nailed it. I think he's the guy. We'll see.